Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Spicy Sunflower Tarot. Welcome to the month of May. We're going to do a monthly overview for the sign of Cancer. And I'm using the MUSE Tarot as the main deck. And I just want to share with you as I'm shuffling these cards up that there is a full moon in your water cousin Scorpio sign. Full moon on May 1st. So we're starting the month off with a bang, in my opinion. Scorpio is not a delicate little flower sign, that's for sure. Their previous ruler used to be Mars. So Mars is all about taking action, fire energy, confrontation. It's action-taking fire energy. And that was their previous ruler, and now Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. And so that's the modern day ruler, which is not an easy planet either. Pluto's all about transformation. So Scorpio is your water cousin, but they say that Scorpio is like the fiery of the water signs. So you, Cancer and Pisces, you're probably the more soft-natured, I would say, but I'm going to say Scorpio, I am a Scorpio. And there is a lot of sensitivity and softness and emotional depth. But yes, I mean, fiery, definitely, I can see all of that. Anyway, the full moon May 1st, Cancer. I don't want to take up the whole reading about Scorpio. It's powerful. It's deep. It's emotional. It's watery. So I feel like you may have some deep, emotional energy that could use a little excavation if you feel it's appropriate. Just to release. The full moon is a perfect time to release what we need to let go of, what we're ready to let go of. It's never about forcing anything. Just if you're ready to release things that no longer serve you and your emotional nature, May 1st might be the day to do that. Okay, that was a long spiel. My apologies. I just wanted to get it out. I wanted to share it with you. And then to let you know also that the new moon is in the sign of Taurus on May 16th. So that is going to be grounded and steady and solid and a perfect opportunity for you to plant new seeds for new adventures or new opportunities. We're going to do a Celtic cross spread for the sign of Cancer. I'm going to go ahead and get started with your recent past. Thank you very much for tuning in, Cancer. I always love your energy. You're one of the top viewers of this channel, so thank you. Recent past, current energy, what's on your mind? What is your challenge? Down below the surface that you might not be aware of. Let's get these so that you can see them. Your future energy. And then this row is going to just go face down. We'll come back and we'll talk. All right, Cancer. At the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Materials. Seven of Materials is all about it's the Seven of Pentacles. It's patience. So your overview for the month of May, the energy ultimately and overall is exhibit patience. Planting seeds is wonderful. Not expecting things to be full and fruitful is helpful. Be patient. You can plant your seeds, you can stock away your money, you can start thinking about how you want your summer to look or your vacation plans, or you're just planning things right now. You're planting seeds, you're just working on things, but you're not expecting everything to happen overnight by any means. So patience, big deal for the month of May for the sign of Cancer. Your recent past. What brought you to the month of May? The Two of Inspiration, which is the Two of Wands. Inspired energy comes from that fire within. And this is the Two of Wands. Your recent past brought you to a position of there was a deliberation that you had to have of, Do I want to stay in my comfort zone where I know my coworkers, I know my boss, I know the rules and regulations in my workplace? Or do I want to go out and start my own business and work from home and have all of, these X, Y, and Z opportunities? If it's a relationship, my partner and I, we've been, just kind of ho-hum, lackadaisical for so many years, but I'm comfortable with them. Do I want to stay, or do I want to go out and pursue my independence or possibly a new relationship? So there is some deliberation in your passions, in your spirit, essentially, that brought you to the month of May. And then your current energy as May unfolds, possibly, that full moon in Scorpio, you're sitting in this Ace of Materials, which is the Ace of Pentacles, which is a new opportunity, which is something brand new that is a seed. It's an investment opportunity. And that's an investment of your health, an investment towards your work life, an investment towards your relationships, a house, a car, something that you can see, touch, taste, or smell. There is something new. You've been given the key, and you're going to unlock a door for yourself as May opens. The challenge, though, is the Chariot. Now, this is your energy, Cancer. Major arcana attributed to the Chariot energy is Cancer. Cancer rules this archetype here because it's moving forward. It's moving ahead. It's just taking ourselves into our vehicle and choosing the road we're going to go and going down it. And this is the challenge. So you have the new opportunity, but it feels like you're not quite sure how to put the wheels in motion. It almost feels like you're in your car and you're stuck in mud and your wheels are just spinning. So you have the opportunity, you had the desire to have the new opportunity, then you were presented that opportunity, and now it feels like there is some stagnation for some reason. You're not going maybe as quickly or in the direction that you thought you would be going. It's a challenge. What's on your mind is the Knight of Materials. Now, this is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is a moving energy, but it moves really slowly. Remember at the beginning, we talked about patience is going to be your virtue this month. Well, this is proof positive. The Knight of Materials, just like the Chariot too, you want to move, you want to start going, you want to start doing your thing, but it's like you're in slow motion. You're stuck in the mud. You feel this stagnation. The Knight of Materials moves slowly anyway, but this is on your mind. So it's like you're very aware that I am moving towards my goal, but it's probably going to take a lot longer than I anticipated. So there's this awareness in your mind that you understand that and you know that. Down in the below the surface where you might not be aware of it, it's the Four of Voices, which is the Four of Swords. And this is an indication that Cancer, probably the best thing to do when traction isn't possible, getting that up and go energy, is to rest, to do what feels the opposite of what it feels the opposite of what you should be doing is rest and relax, because our nature is sometimes to push harder, to keep going, we just got to do that one more thing and we can make it happen, when really maybe you really need to just go and put some rose petals in some bath water and soak your cares away. You remember the commercial from the past, Calgon Take Me Away? That's really kind of what the doctor is ordering here. The tarot doctor, that is. It's just a suggestion. You don't ever have to take this advice. Just let it resonate if it does, and if it doesn't, let it just move past. But this is a prescription for rest and relaxation. And as you move into the future, Now we're starting to go somewhere because we've got 8 of inspiration, which is the 8 of wands, which is fast, rapid, firing, moving energy. So it almost feels like as the month of May progresses, things start to pick up speed and we're starting to get a little gas in our tank. We're starting to unstick ourselves from that muddy road that we felt we were on. And so the future looks like it is ramping up. And that's probably going to make you feel like, finally, we're going somewhere. We're not just dreaming about things. We're actually going to head in the direction that we want. Your external environment, people outside of you, but they affect you. It's the environment, the energy from that's around you is the Fool energy. This is about the sign of Aries. And this is, it's attributed to the sign of Aries, but it is taking risks, taking chances, not thinking about consequences, just having that inspired wand energy, that inspired, you've got your magic wand in one hand and your knapsack over the other shoulder, and you probably have your little, usually there's a little dog barking at your feet, almost like to warn you that watch out, you could be taking risks that you can't recover from, or somebody outside of you is encouraging you to take chances, but they're also probably warning you that there's risks. So let's go back to that example of your job. If you're trying to think about, remember at the beginning of May, you had your, do I want to stay in my comfort zone or do I want to go start my own business and start my own career somewhere else? You've got people outside of you who are either cheering you on or like that little barking dog that sometimes appears in the Fool energy. They're warning you about, watch out, Cancer, watch out. There's risks if you do that. And, they're filling your mind with warnings. And your internal energy is the Queen of Materials. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Now, this is Virgo energy, and this is really just like the sign of Taurus that we're going to be having the new moon. It's very grounded. It's very stable. It's very secure. So your energy is internally, you've locked down what you're doing. You have financial backing, you've got, resources available for you as you start going down that path. Like you've secured yourself an apartment. If you're thinking of, stopping a certain relationship that you're currently in, you want to go off onto your own. So you've already secured like how that's going to happen. This is a very safety net kind of energy. So you're planning how, you already know how you're going to do what you're going to do. And you've got yourself, it feels like you've got yourself very set up, very securely. However this works for you, but it is something in your physical world, something that you can see, taste, touch, smell. It's a job, it's a home environment, it's a career, it is your health. Maybe you're taking an opportunity to go invest in your health and you're going to check into like a 6-month spa or something, health related. That's definitely a possibility here. Your hopes and your fears. It's the 2 of materials. This is something's being juggled and it scares you, but you also hope that you can keep your balance. You also hope that you can juggle. You're worried about juggling, but you also hope that you can do it. That if I just keep these 2 things, my work and my family, everybody's going to be happy because I'm going to take care of both things. But when you start to split your energy into 2 priorities, those 2 priorities are only going to get the best of you on occasion. One side's always going to be top heavy and the other side's going to take the hit. So it's just, one day you're not going to be 100% and you might not be able to juggle these two priorities. So that's where it just becomes a little bit of a challenge. And this is in your hopes and your fears. The last card for you, Cancer, is the final outcome, and it's the 10 of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What it says is that no matter what you're going through, what you're choosing between, what you're trying to deliberate on or put into action or have patience with, at the end of the day, all is well. It's the 10 of Cups. It's emotional satiety, bliss, harmony, absolute perfection is almost what it seems like. And on the scale of 1 to 10, it's a 10. It's high, vibrating, lovely, beautiful energy. And this is family harmony, workplace harmony, your goals and your dreams being fulfilled for you. You feel complete. You feel content. And this is the overview for the month of May, possible outcome for you. Let's go back and do a little clarification with the Tarot of Mystical Moments. And what do we want to clarify for the sign of Cancer? They're all very positive cards overall. I do want to find out this Chariot. Let's just do a quick clarification on the Chariot. Why the Chariot is getting in the way. 8 of Swords. And you know what it is? Do you know why the Chariot is kind of stalling your progress at the beginning of the month? It's because you're overthinking things. You possibly, you know how your car needs to go, but because you're overthinking 8 of Swords, you're putting yourself in a cage of your own doing with your own thoughts, which just keeps you stuck. So of course, your ability to be mobile and move forward is going to stall out because you're thinking negative thoughts, and that holds you down and holds you back. So that's a really helpful piece of information to have as you look at the month of May overall. I do have the Romance Angels Oracle cards, and I'm going to give you a couple of those. So let's see what we can give the sign of Cancer in the way of Oracle. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. If you were wondering, Cancer, if you were wondering, especially any of these places where you're trying to make a decision or make a choice, or, you know, patience and slow movement and taking risks, taking chances, this juggling act. I mean, soulmate, yes, this is your soulmate. And then calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Calling in your soulmate. This is your reading, Cancer. I just want to remind you that I am available on TikTok and on YouTube, Spicy Sunflower Tarot. Your comments, shares, likes, follows, subscribes, all welcome and so very appreciated. Thank you for being here. Be blessed. Be well.